The battle you have struggled to withstand for such a long time has now reached its end. And I am calling you to step out of your defensive posture and learn how to rest in peace. My beloved child, I know you have become accustomed to living as though another storm could arise at any moment. Your shoulders remain tense. Your mind never stops calculating. And your heart closes itself even to good things because you fear that any joy that arrives will quickly be taken away. You have lived in a state of self-protection for so long that silence can sometimes make you more uneasy than noise. But today, I want you to hear this clearly. You no longer have to fight everything as you once did. Some battles have already ended without your realizing it. Some dangerous doors have been closed behind you. And some things that once threatened you no longer possess the power you imagined. The fact that you still feel tired does not mean the battle is continuing. Sometimes, fatigue is simply the remaining imprint of a season you survived by using every ounce of your strength. I saw you during the days when no one knew how deeply you were hurting. You continued fulfilling your responsibilities, supporting others, and keeping your voice steady even when everything within you had become depleted. You wondered why you always had to be strong, why life seemed to keep placing burdens upon you that were too heavy, and why you could not fully relax even after one trial ended. I understand. When you have endured too much instability, your mind learns to predict the worst so that you will not be caught unprepared. You begin to read silence as danger, interpret delay as rejection, and distrust even those who approach you sincerely. This is not because you lack faith, but because you were wounded many times when you had no time to prepare. Yet what once helped you survive does not need to become the way you live forever. I am teaching you that peace is not a trap. Joy is not something you must fear. And rest does not make you weak. Your body may still remember the months of tension. You may startle easily, struggle to sleep deeply, or feel guilty when you are doing nothing. Even during moments meant for relaxation, you may still think about unfinished tasks, unspoken words, and situations that might happen. But my child, I do not ask you to prove your worth through exhaustion. You do not have to remain constantly busy in order to deserve love. Nor do you have to carry every problem to prove that you are responsible. Some things are not yours to repair. Some people must accept responsibility for their own choices. Some stories must be left unwritten because no matter how many times you explain yourself, someone determined to misunderstand you may continue doing so. The rest I give you is not only more sleep, it is the freedom to stop carrying responsibilities that were never assigned to you. You became accustomed to believing that victory had to appear through celebration, a clear apology, or the moment when those who once dismissed you finally admitted they were wrong. But victory is often much quieter. Victory is remembering something old without trembling. It is seeing the person who hurt you without still longing for revenge. It is refusing to return to a place merely because you feel lonely. It is saying no without spending the entire night blaming yourself. Sometimes victory is simply that you are still here, that you have preserved your kindness after everything that happened, that you can still love despite betrayal, and that you still dare to hope after repeated disappointment. The things designed to make you collapse were unable to extinguish the light within you. You may carry scars, but those scars are no longer permitted to determine your future. I want you to understand that rest is not surrender. When I tell you to pause, I am not asking you to abandon your responsibilities or become passive toward life. I am calling you away from unnecessary battles, from arguments that create no change, and from the need to defend yourself against every judgment. There is a difference between acting from peace and reacting from a wound. When you react from pain, you become hurried, say things you later regret, and try to control the outcome in order to feel safe. But when you act from clarity, you know when to speak, when to remain silent, when to walk away, and when to wait patiently. Rest helps you regain that clarity. It returns you to a rhythm in which your decisions are no longer driven by fear, but guided by understanding. A deeper truth is being revealed in this season. You do not need to return to a battlefield merely because it feels familiar. Sometimes, after chaos ends, you unconsciously search for a new problem to worry about because peace feels strange. You may message the person who once hurt you, reopen an argument that had already ended, or place unrealistic pressure upon yourself. This is not because you want to suffer, but because your mind has lived in tension for so long that it began to treat tension as normal. I am helping you learn a different rhythm. Allow ordinary days to become enough. Enjoy a meal without holding your phone and checking everything. Sleep without trying to solve your entire future in one night. Receive a kind word without immediately questioning the motive behind it. Peace does not need to be loud in order to be real. What you experienced still carries meaning, but you do not need to wear it as a sentence against you. Difficult memories can make you wiser, but do not allow them to turn you into someone who always expects betrayal. Keep the lesson and lay down the fear. Remember what happened, but do not relive it every day. You have the right to enter a new room without forcing the people there to pay for the mistakes of those who came before them. You have the right to receive love without continually testing whether the other person will leave. You have the right to rejoice without preparing yourself for loss. True healing does not erase the past. It allows you to look back without being dragged into it again. I am teaching you how to preserve wisdom in your eyes while keeping tenderness in your heart. If today you still feel unable to rest completely, do not blame yourself. A heart that has lived in battle cannot learn peace instantly after one reminder. Begin slowly. When your mind creates the worst possible scenario, return to what is actually happening in the present. When you feel you must respond immediately, give yourself a pause. When anxiety makes you want to control everyone, remember that you are responsible only for your own choices. Create quiet spaces in your life that do not need a purpose. Moments when you are not required to prove, repair, or complete anything. You can sit beside a window, walk slowly, drink a glass of water, and allow your breathing to deepen. These simple actions are telling your entire being that the danger has passed and that you are allowed to come home within yourself. My beloved child, the heaviest part is no longer ahead of you. This does not mean that you will never face another challenge, but you will not enter those challenges as the same person you once were. You have grown, learned discernment, and discovered that strength does not always take the form of rising to fight. Sometimes, strength is closing the door and not returning. Sometimes strength is stopping the explanations. Sometimes strength is accepting help instead of suffering alone. At this moment, your strength is believing that you are allowed to rest. I am still beside you, not urging you to run again, but protecting the peace you are learning to receive. Relax your shoulders, breathe deeply, and allow today to become lighter. The battle has ended, You do not need to keep living as someone still under siege. Enter rest with gratitude, because you survived what once made you believe you could not. And now you have the right to live, not merely to survive, but to love, recover, and be at peace. You were overlooked by the world, not because you lacked value, but because the time for what belonged to you to be seen had not yet ripened. There were days when you stood very close to a door, yet it remained silent, even though you had given your most sincere effort. You watched others being chosen, supported, and given opportunities, while you seemed to remain forever behind them. This once caused you to wonder whether you had been forgotten. But I want you to understand that delay was not a sentence against you. Often, it was a protective wall, keeping what was precious from falling into the hands of those who did not yet know how to value it, preventing your work from being used for the wrong purpose, and keeping you from entering a place that appeared glorious but would have taken away your peace. I know you became impatient because you could not understand why everything had to take so long. You believed that if the door had opened sooner, your life would have been easier. But if it had arrived while you were still too easily affected by the opinions of others, you might have placed your direction in unsuitable hands. If recognition had come while praise was still your source of life, you could have been controlled by the same people who lifted you up. If opportunity had come before you learned how to establish boundaries, you might have allowed others to enter and take over what you were meant to manage. Therefore, I did not hurry. I did not hold you back to punish you, but to prepare you with enough clarity to enter the new without losing yourself. Now the season of delay is beginning to close. You may not yet see a dramatic change outside, but within you there has already been a clear movement. You no longer desire to chase people who cannot see your worth. You no longer want to keep knocking on a door that repeatedly wounded you. You are beginning to understand that what truly belongs to you will not require you to trade away your dignity in order to obtain it. This change in the way you see yourself is evidence that you are more ready than before. The new door does not open because you force it through effort, but because you have become someone who can walk through it without carrying the desperation of the former season. When this happens, those who once doubted you may not understand why everything suddenly changes direction. Some believed your silence meant failure, not knowing that you were quietly rebuilding your foundation. Some thought your decision to step back meant surrender, but they did not see that you were learning to protect your energy and choose your battles. I am not opening a new door so that you can return and prove them wrong. I am opening it so that you may finally live without being held captive by their judgment. The greatest freedom is not making those who overlooked you regret it. It is no longer needing their regret in order to believe in your value. You also need to prepare for the possibility that someone you have never met may become a bridge to a new opportunity. They may not recognize you through anything mysterious, but through your sincerity, ability, and the way you carry yourself. Your name may reach them through a recommendation, a piece of work you completed quietly, an idea you believed no one cared about, or a very ordinary conversation. What you planted during the days when no one was watching will begin creating connections you could not have predicted. Therefore, do not despise any small task you are performing honestly. A great door sometimes begins through a brief message, a chance meeting, or someone unexpectedly remembering you at the right time. Yet, do not sit still and wait for destiny to find you while neglecting your responsibility. Keep your presence clear. Complete what needs to be completed. Strengthen your abilities. Honor your commitments, and care for what has already been placed in your hands. I do not want you to chase every opportunity, but neither do I want you to hide because you fear another rejection. When the right path appears, it will not require you to become false in order to be accepted. It will respect the value you carry while still challenging you to mature. Enter it with humility, not with the feeling that you finally have a chance to answer those who once ignored you. What you have prayed for may be drawing near in a form different from what you imagined. You longed for a great and immediate change, but the answer may begin through a small choice. You wanted someone to appear and rescue you, but what may come first is the courage to leave a place that no longer fits. You desired abundance, but first you may receive the wisdom to manage, build, and stop repeating decisions that kept you in lack. You wanted recognition, but something deeper may be happening. You are ceasing to deny yourself. When something changes within you, you will recognize that what I was sending had already been moving toward you for a long time. There was a bond from the past that made it difficult for you to move forward. It may have been dependence upon a person, a promise that was never fulfilled, a sense of debt, or a fear that someone would leave if you changed. That person once had great influence over the way you saw yourself. One cold reaction from them could make you question your entire direction. One accusation could pull you back into guilt. But that bond is losing its power. Not because you need to hate them, but because you are beginning to understand that genuine love does not require you to lose yourself in order to keep someone near. That bond does not necessarily break through a violent confrontation. Sometimes it breaks on the day when you no longer respond to provocation. It breaks when you stop explaining yourself to someone who has already decided to misunderstand. It breaks when you can remember the past without wanting to return and repair it. It breaks when you stop treating another person's departure as evidence that you are unworthy of love. Your peaceful silence is closing the entrances that were once misused. And when the past can no longer consume your strength, the streams that were once blocked begin to flow again. My beloved child, not everything that happens is a mysterious sign, but every moment can become part of your growth when you receive it with awareness. You do not need to type a number or leave a comment in order to receive a blessing. What I seek from you is not an impulsive response, but deep agreement demonstrated through the way you live. If you truly believe you are entering a new season, show it by refusing to return to the cycles that exhausted you. Say Amen within your heart through one mature decision. You will no longer reject what is good merely because the past disappointed you. Do not allow excitement to make you trust every offer too quickly. An open door does not mean that everyone who enters has good intentions. You still need to examine, listen, and observe the results. A suitable opportunity does not manipulate you through fear, force you to decide in panic, or require you to trade away important values. What is meant for you will withstand the light of verification. It may require courage, but it will not require you to deny the wise voice within. I preserved you through a long season so that you could learn this. So, do not abandon discernment merely because someone has finally called your name. When recognition comes, remember the days when you were unseen. They will keep you humble. Remember what it felt like to be overlooked so that you do not treat others the way you were once treated. Use your new position to open a path rather than close doors before those who are only beginning. What I give you will not exist only for your comfort. It will give you the ability to help, encourage, and become evidence that someone may be delayed without being denied. Your waiting will become compassion, and your quiet years will become wisdom. Therefore, breathe deeply and walk with stability. You no longer need to live as someone waiting for permission to exist. You do not need another person to confirm what I have placed within you. The new time will be marked not only by what comes toward you, but also by what can no longer drag you backward. Manipulation is losing its effect. The fear of abandonment is weakening, and the voice of doubt is no longer as loud as before. The blessings that once seemed unreachable were not beyond your grasp because someone else had complete power to stop them, but because you needed to be prepared to receive them with steady hands. Continue doing what is right even before you see the whole result. Allow healthy relationships to find you in sincerity rather than through an image you created in order to be liked. Trust, that time did not waste you, it trained you. When the door opens, you will understand why it could not have come sooner. You will step through without lowering your head in insecurity or lifting it in pride, but with the peace of someone who knows they have been prepared. What belongs to you does not need to be seized in desperation. Keep your heart clear, your eyes awake, and your steps upright. I am leading you away from what once bound you, so that you can meet what is new as someone freer, more mature, and no longer doubtful of your right to live a good life. My beloved child, as you become stronger, steadier, and more peaceful, some people who were accustomed to your vulnerability may find it more difficult to approach or influence you as they once did. Yet, I do not want you to turn that change into fear that every pair of eyes around you is hiding a plan against you. True maturity does not make you see enemies everywhere. It helps you recognize what is happening with a clear mind, a heart free from panic, and decisions grounded in truth. Perhaps you were once manipulated, had your words distorted, or had private information used to hurt you. Therefore, when someone behaves differently, you may easily connect small details into a frightening story. I understand that response, but I am leading you out of a life of constant vigilance. You do not need to imprison yourself in anxiety in order to prove that you are being careful. During the past season, you learned to care for your living space, organize your belongings, protect your privacy, and change habits that were no longer healthy. Do not immediately assume that every one of these actions arose from a hidden threat. Perhaps they simply show that you have begun to value your life more. You clean because you want your home to become a place of rest, not because you need to erase every trace before someone searches for something. You share less because you understand that privacy is a precious boundary, not because you must live as though you are always being watched. You change your routine because you are learning to live with greater order, not because you need to mislead anyone. When you view these actions through peace, they become expressions of self-respect rather than fear. I want you to know that wisdom does not come from guessing everyone's motives. You may notice a neighbor spending more time outside, looking toward your home, or behaving warmly one day and distantly the next. Yet one isolated action is not enough to conclude that they are collecting information or planning against you. Every person carries stories that you cannot see. They may be worried about family, work, or matters that have nothing to do with you. Discernment does not turn every movement into a sign. It gives you enough patience to observe over time. Separate what you actually see from what you merely assume, and act only when clear facts are present. If a specific behavior genuinely concerns you, such as someone photographing a private area, taking property that belongs to you, directing a device into your living space, or repeatedly harassing you. Do not confront them in anger. Record dates and times. Preserve images that can be verified. Share the situation with someone trustworthy, and use appropriate channels to protect yourself. I am not telling you to remain passive before a genuine violation. I am only reminding you not to turn a feeling into evidence or act upon a conclusion that has not been confirmed. Calmness does not mean neglecting safety. Calmness is the ability to respond without allowing fear to take away your judgment. You do not need to believe that a stranger is secretly using hidden methods to interfere with your life. Stories that cannot be verified can make you increasingly anxious, especially when they claim that others belong to secret groups, have hired someone to follow you, or are searching for your weaknesses. Remember that the more serious a claim is, the more clearly it needs to be supported. You are not required to believe every thought merely because it appears strongly in your mind. Bring it into the light through simple questions. What have I actually seen? Has anyone else confirmed it? Is there a normal explanation that is more reasonable? What is true? And what is merely a possibility I fear? I, Michael, do not guide you through codes or numbers believed to possess the power to unlock blessings. You do not need to write a sequence of numbers in order to receive protection, nor do you need to repeat a particular sentence to keep good things from leaving. Protection in daily life is built through wisdom, healthy boundaries, and support from a trustworthy community. Lock your doors carefully. Protect your personal accounts. Avoid publicly sharing sensitive schedules. And check devices if you have a practical reason for concern. These actions are not driven by fear. They help you live responsibly. But after completing what is necessary, allow yourself to rest. Do not remain beside the window, watching the world as though danger were hidden around every corner. Perhaps on a Friday evening, you hear something near the mailbox or notice an unfamiliar object outside. Examine it calmly, without creating a story before you know what it is. It may be mail delivered to the wrong address, someone stopping at the wrong house, or equipment connected to shared neighborhood work. If you see something genuinely unusual, call for support or contact the appropriate authority. I do not want you to assume that ignoring every concern will cause it to disappear through invisible intervention. You have been given wisdom to observe, the right to seek help, and the ability to take safe steps. Divine guidance does not separate you from reality. It helps you act rightly within reality. If you feel that people around you are becoming distant or behaving strangely, do not immediately conclude that a secret group is falling apart because its plan against you failed. Some relationships change because you established boundaries. Some people withdraw because they no longer receive the response they once expected. Others may simply be busy or entering another stage of life. You do not need to know every reason before you can continue living. Allow what no longer fits to leave without creating additional stories that burden your mind. Peace grows when you accept that not everything requires an explanation. I know you desire justice after being treated unfairly, but justice does not necessarily mean that those who opposed you become frightened, lose sleep, or are abandoned by their allies. Do not build your joy upon the idea that someone else is being punished. The most beautiful restoration is when their actions no longer define you. You move forward, not because an attack accidentally made you shine, but because you chose to learn, heal, and live differently. Others may have made life difficult, but they did not create your value. That strength was formed through every time you fell and rose again without allowing your heart to become bitter. There may be days when your mind becomes excessively alert. You may repeatedly check the doors, notice every sound, or feel that everyone is watching you. If this continues, disrupts your sleep, or makes ordinary life difficult, I want you to speak with someone trustworthy. A calm family member, physician, or mental health professional may help you see the situation more clearly. Receiving help does not deny faith or make you weak. Sometimes the care you need comes through people with knowledge and compassion. People who help you distinguish between genuine danger and a stress response that makes everything appear more frightening. Mutta, my beloved child, your strength does not lie in becoming a mystery that others cannot understand. Your strength lies in living uprightly without needing to know what everyone thinks. You do not need to make anyone afraid in order to feel protected. You only need clear boundaries, responses grounded in evidence, and the refusal to let assumptions consume your peace. If someone behaves inappropriately, you may keep your distance. If they violate a boundary, you may use proper measures. But when nothing specific has occurred, allow yourself to live an ordinary day. Greet others when you wish. Care for your work. And refuse to spend all your energy watching the people around you. Let your new season be born from clarity, not from the feeling that you are surrounded. Rise because you are better prepared, not because you believe a secret group has accidentally activated your advancement. Shine through practical things, kindness, discipline, the skills you have developed, and the way you face difficulty without losing your dignity. No one's jealousy has the authority to determine your future, but neither should an unverified story be permitted to control your present. I am beside you to lead you back to truth, balance, and courage. I do not want you to see the world as a battlefield where everyone is plotting. Keep your home safe, but do not turn it into a prison. Protect your privacy, but do not allow caution to become isolation. Observe, but still permit yourself to believe in what is good. If something real occurs, you will respond with wisdom and appropriate support. If there is no evidence, lay the story down. Your peace is not proven by becoming untouchable, but by knowing that whatever you face, you can return to truth. Remain steady and choose what is right.